You mean it goes through the shop?
Yeah, we're in the shop live.
Whoa.
What's up, boys? Let's go. You know how this rolls.
How's it going?
Are we on?
Yeah, we're live right now.
That's right. We got Darren's first high five ever. Last time he was on the show.
Would you get Darren's cigar torch and pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side?
Yeah.
Thank you. Pops, what are we doing here? And will you go ahead and just preface what this evening has in store for all the beautiful people?
Yeah, this is the first time that we've been able to carry the audio through the shop. This is Cigar Talk Live. It's Tuesday night. We're at Industrial Cigar Company. We are just living the dream, having a virtual night in a virtual cigar lounge and just bringing you people into our crowd and just let you guys eavesdrop in, but more importantly, contribute. Last week's show had over 350 comments.
339.
339 comments, Mr. Exact, and very, very interactive show. So we're going to ask questions. We're going to lean on you guys to help us with questions. But tonight we are blessed to have with us the owner of Principal Cigars, Darren Cioffi. Can we hear it for Darren Cioffi?
Everyone give it up for Darren Cioffi! I think we have a couple. It's your first time in the lounge, right? In this lounge or in any lounge? Any lounge? This is the first night in any lounge?
They're all like this.
They're all identical to this.
Tuesday night, they're all like this.
Yes.
So the first time you've been in a lounge, you have the owner of a company that is unlike anything else on the planet. They make some of the most amazing cigars on the planet, and he's just right here talking to you. So welcome. Glad to have you. Welcome in. Darren Cioffi, welcome home.
Pleasure's mine, as usual. Thank you, guys.
Oh, we have Andre coming in.
That's my buddy.
Where's he from?
Sweden. Gothenburg. Yeah, he took a
Sweden.
3-hour nap to be awake for this.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I realize it's a Saturday thing, but I could always give him the Swedish good evening. Good day, mate. That's how you guys say it in Sweden.
Yes. And
Sweden.
for those of you who are tuning in, thank you so much for taking your time to join us. Hit like, comment, share, subscribe, all the social things. We need all the help we can because we habitually get canceled, as we were speaking about.
Yeah.
If you watch Saturday at the Shop, we will not. Well, we're going to try not to get canceled this evening. And I think we can do that by starting off nice and simple, which is, Darren, what brings you to Industrial this week?
The truth is, I was looking at my calendar and I slowly realized that the only time I would be able to get here before the end of the year was Thanksgiving week. So
That's not how we spun that.
Yeah.
We spun that different.
But I'm happy to be here to share both the holiday and cigars and everything else with you guys.
Yeah, we decided to have a little pop-up event tonight where we're launching some new cigars tonight. Tell us about the new cigars that are releasing this evening.
These two boxes you have here, as you know, Archive Collection is this umbrella that we have where any product where we're using vintage materials in the packaging, like our Money to Burn that has the antique stocks and bonds, or 1842. We want to try to start using some of the actual antique cigar advertising artwork that we have on Archive projects. And so Virtual and Record Bond are our two pilot programs, sort of a proof of concept to see how that goes, which is why the production runs are so tiny. I mean, Virtual, we had enough materials for 74 boxes, and I think we made 250 of the Record Bond. But everything is antique. I mean, the labels are from about 1930. The bands on all the cigars as well are from the 30s. So hopefully there'll be more of this stuff moving forward, but these are the very first two.
Man, I'll tell you what, I fired this up not long ago. We were talking about a buttery cigar.
Uh-huh.
To me, that's
That
what
one?
this is.
Yeah.
Just buttery, it's rich, it's nice, it's elegant, it fires.
The nice thing about a production run of, what is this, 2,500 cigars is you can use whatever tobacco that's, you have in even small amounts. It's 740 cigars here. You have a lot of flexibility with blending that you normally don't have on any project, even limited project.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it goes well because I love this. I love I mean, just overall your entire line, and we won't talk too much about the cigars in and of themselves, but your whole line and how you position a very wide line, as we call it. You know, a lot of different. You've got Aviator, Accomplice, Bad Principles. The list goes on, but you find a way to be unique throughout each one of those. What is your thought process when you're developing the concept of a new cigar?
I mean, I always have a lot of ideas. I mean, the archive stuff is different because, you know, I want to use the materials that I have or the materials that we've found over the years. So sometimes the project comes from the space of, you know, a cigar that you're trying to create. Other times it comes from like the marketing department, quote unquote. Like Martinique, for example, was that weird project that came, you know, I had the idea for the branding a long time ago, like in my first years. And then I had the concept for the cigar, and I just thought, man, they would be a perfect marriage. So we put them together and released them. With these two really tiny archive collection projects, the idea was really making all of the artwork work first, and then, okay, what cigars can we slot into these two tiny runs?
Yep, JD is coming in. So when do we get to start ordering one of those 74 boxes? The answer is...
These guys got them now, and that's it. So get them while they're good. I think there's maybe not a lot left, maybe 10 boxes left.
5 boxes. I'm looking at, 6 boxes.
Record Bond, I think we still have a few more in the warehouse, but Virtuola, this is the end.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad I'm smoking the Record Bond then, because that would have been too bad. One question that I have is actually, I actually want to reach out for those who are watching up here on the lens, is also in here. Toss out a question for Darren, because we'll get into the cigar side of things, unfortunately, too deep. But I'm curious what anyone's question is regarding all of that. Pops, what do you got for Darren over there?
Well, thanks for putting me on the spot, kid. I appreciate that. I was just reading some of the comments. We have Kevin Amick coming in from Georgia. Good day, mate. And we've got Frank coming in from Little Elm, Texas. So what's up, Frank? And Magnolia was just here. Do you know Magnolia?
I do not.
She comes in. She's from, where did you say she was from?
Berniesville, Tennessee.
Berniesville, Tennessee.
You know where that is? That's definitely not.
Tennessee's a big state.
She'll help.
She'll help. Yeah. But she was just here. They came in and watched Formula One with us this weekend, and they had a good time. She is into Formula One. Holy cow!
That's cars, right?
It is cars. Yep. It's not. This,
Murfreesboro.
Whatever this is.
Murfreesboro.
Yeah, that's right near me. That's 40 minutes away.
Yeah. So he understands. He understood all of it. I did spin it a little bit different as far as what the reason was why you came down here.
We have party line reason.
Well, the party line reason was, you know, Darren loves his family very much.
Oh, that's it, right?
But he also chose to spend Thanksgiving here with us.
That's true. These are all true statements.
Look, call me a liar.
I had to say to my mother that I would not be there on Thanksgiving, so I love you enough to go through that torture.
Yep, that is right.
Did you get the mother guilt trip?
I was raised Catholic. They know how to lay it on.
Yeah, they know how to lay it on. And so with Thanksgiving this week, big meal. I'm talking a big meal on Thursday. You will be judged harder than this show. If you
I
just
said I would cook a dish, but it sounds like you have to cook for a prison over there.
Oh yeah, no,
G20 summit.
I learned Begley just let it out like it was just, you know, normal. That there's going to be 35 people there. So it's not the first time we've had 35 people for Thanksgiving, but it hasn't been last couple of years. It's only been in the 20s, I think.
It's actually 40.
Well, there you go. That's why I was digging in the deal for more plates.
Here we are.
evening.
Josh Sims is asking, is tonight a passport night?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course it is. I'm here, right?
Yeah, if he's here, he will either help us find the stamp or he's just going to sign a page for you. And for those of you who don't know what a passport event is, it's an awesome series of events of why you need to go to Principal events. Will you talk about the concept behind it? Because I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, we came up with it a few years ago, and we made these Principal passports. So anytime you attend a Principal event, you get a stamp on your passport. And the idea was that I was going to produce a special box of cigars just for people that filled out their passports. As people ended up filling out those passports before said box was put into production, I reached deep into the humidor and gave them some 9-year-old boxes of Accomplice last time. So it was a significant prize for being patient with
Ron,
me.
you ended up with one of those, didn't you?
And they're phenomenal. But you're rolling into your 10th year in business.
Yeah, next year is a very important year for us. It's 10 years, and we have a lot of crazy stuff planned that we need to organize for 2023 for sure.
Good. Well, congratulations on 10 years.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, no, we're going to make it to 10 years.
Yeah, we're going to make it to 10
Okay,
years.
good.
If we made it to 5, we're making it to 10.
That's right. Odds are on our side.
Yep.
For sure.
To the demise of many, many lounges in the area, we will make it. I promise you. Andre coming in. Awesome idea with the passport. Very fitting. Of course it is. Dustin is very close to having his passport done.
I better crack out blow the dust off some more boxes because we still haven't made the passport boxes.
This gets Junior asked a great question that I was leading to. Big meal. You got the meat sweats,
Food coma, turkey coma.
the whole coma, the whole deal. What is that cigar you grab?
I think that when I'm really bloated, I go for something atypical to what I produce, right? Like if I can't really focus on, I like to make these medium-bodied, really complex cigars, but when you just can't feel it anymore, my cigars are not really the right cigar for that moment. I tend to go for something a little bit more simple, maybe a little peppery. I just want to feel that obvious smoke that's not too difficult to obtain and a little spice in my mouth, and that's the cure for the meat sweats.
And try to stay awake and then don't drop it in your lap, the cigar burning in your lap.
That's
Fall asleep with it in your mouth.
that is the first time I've ever heard a brand owner of any brand of any company ever say, "Don't smoke my cigar."
No, it's the truth. I mean, most of what I make are cigars that you really want to focus on, and when you're undoing the belt and everything is moving and spinning, it's not the time for an aviator.
Darren, do you have a favorite cigar lounge in Nashville, open or closed?
No, I'm more or less a social recluse in Nashville. My porch is my favorite cigar lounge.
It's Haunted Porch.
And he's had several ICC members show up on his porch.
They have.
Yeah.
Usually with very little to no notice.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's usually how it
on
goes.
the way. Yeah.
By the way, we're here.
Hey, I'm in Nashville. Could you get us connected with Darren?
It's happened before.
And many times it's been, I missed your message, and then sometimes
I need
they're
to
in.
make like a boxwood hall stamp for the passport for the people that, but I don't want to encourage the behavior.
Yeah, that's a good point.
One of the stops on the passport is his porch.
No, yeah, you cannot break it. What is this whole? This kind of feels kind of communist up here.
Oh, the anti-football?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just for those of you that are confused and see me wearing a USA shirt, it is not for the soccer team. It is for the Ryder Cup golf team. So I'm not a soccer fan. Watching soccer is like watching baseball. Just a lot of shit goes on and nobody ever scores.
Yep.
Yeah. Just, yeah.
Pops, did you play golf today? You're coming in a little flat today.
I did. Well, on the third hole, my rib popped back out. I had a little rib issue and I went to the chiropractor and he fixed it. And then it was feeling fine. And then hole 3, it decided to pop back out. So it kind of feels like a knife being jabbed in my back. But other than that, I'm good.
Besides from that.
But besides the excruciating pain, I'm good. I'm real good.
Besides from that, how was the parade, Mrs. Kennedy?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Mostly peaceful.
Did you guys? There was a shirt that I saw that was a Yelp rating for the play that Lincoln was shot at, and it just gave 1 star. Foreign theater, 1 star.
Okay, so I'm reading in on Andre. That guy got some sleep, and I
Yeah,
appreciate.
you got a solid 3 hours, he told me.
I appreciate him coming in from the other side of the world to watch this. Thank you, Andre.
He's a good guy.
Seems like a good guy. How many pages do you have to fill?
How many what?
How many pages of that passport before someone gets a box?
I don't remember. How many are in there?
I think
I
it was
want
like
to.
12.
I think it's
I was going to say, yeah,
it's not unwieldy.
8 to
I mean,
10,
it's well
something
worth
like that.
doing.
It's well worth doing, but here's the thing: is when we first put that out there, it's like 12 events is a lot of events.
No, these guys filled it up in no time.
Yeah.
No, but if I come here for 3 nights, each night counts. So
And then usually in December we'll do like 5 nights in a row.
not this year. This is it.
Yeah.
These are the nights. So come on down. Get
Well,
your
we
thing.
launched about 30 cigars last year in 1 week.
People are like, another one?
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
What?
All right.
Which, by the way, tomorrow we are launching another cigar, and that's a perfect
Speaking
link.
of which.
Let's talk about tomorrow night, because tomorrow night's going to be awesome.
Yeah, tomorrow night we are launching the we do an annual holiday release under Accomplice. It's called the Bauble. It's an unusually shaped cigar. We change it every year. I think we only made 2,500 cigars this year. It's a really tiny production. And this year, I think it's the 3rd year we've done it. For me, by a mile, it's the best Bauble. I mean, it's just like it's champagne in a cigar, just super effervescent and smoky and bubbly and bright and acidic.
Vitola? What Vitola is
It's the
it?
exact same.
Oh,
Bauble.
same?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's a weird shape.
Yeah, it's
It's
an
a big,
unusual.
fat-
It's a thick, it's sealed at both ends like a Cochon Vallon, but it's not tapered. It's a once a year kind of cigar, and then we will have for everyone that comes down also the relaunch of the Accomplice Maduro, which haven't been on the market in a while. But we've spent the last year reblending a lot of the Accomplice. As you know, the new classics and Connecticut's have come out. And we finally have a really limited quantity, advanced quantity of the Robusto and Toro from Maduro. And we're really looking forward to seeing how people take to those, because I've been smoking them at home regularly. Really nice.
That, I'll tell you, the accomplice that we affectionately call the Poland accomplice.
I do too.
It is, it's doing really, really well.
Yeah,
It's
a nice
doing
bowl.
really well.
I meant to tell you, we have a Corona Gorda, that same ring gauge, but in a 6-inch sitting in Nashville. They finally came in as well.
Oh, nice.
So a proper 46x6 Accomplice Classic.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
So tomorrow night, if you did smoke the baubles before, come in here tomorrow night. You'll have a crack at them. I think we only have 24 of them.
You have 24 boxes of 4. Those we have like more in Nashville though. So
Yeah, that is. And I smoked some of Biz in the back.
yeah, it's a nice cigar.
Very
It was
well
so
done.
good like that. As soon as I smoked the final production cigar, like immediately Hendrik and I were thinking like, what else can we do with this blend? You know, it's just a shame to waste it on such a limited release, but it is a nice cigar.
Yeah. Kevin, ring gauge on that's like, is it 58, 60?
It's like 60, yeah,
Yeah.
but weird and tapered and, you know, sealed at both ends with the pigtail.
Would it play well in a smaller ring gauge, or does it need to be
You would
a
have
bigger
to
ring
find
gauge?
out. I think we tried it in like a 56 and it worked, but just to, you know, for playing sake, we didn't really get serious about tweaking the blend. But yeah, you might have to do some work on it. But the idea behind the blend would be really nice in another Vitola.
Mark Meyer. And also, Wayne, wait till you smoke this year's. It is excellent. And we've got Kevin Amick coming in. All this fun happening. I'm 1,000 miles away. I'm curious exactly
That's a
how many
2.5
miles.
The fun.
Yeah, it's right here.
Somewhere in this
Yeah, it's in here somewhere. Yeah, it's right at the front counter.
Oh, God. He's coming in. He just got done running 40-yard dashes with his tights on again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
hey,
he hasn't run 40
we
yards.
need your help. As soon as he walks in, just flip him off, please.
Yeah.
Do me a favor.
Speaking of sexy some bitches, look at this guy hugging the wall.
What's up, Jay?
What's up, Javon?
Javon Hackley in the
Javon
house.
from Definition Cigars.
Okay, so JD, I will forget absolutely to PM you. Just send me a message or a text or something, because I'm going to forget that one. But I'll make sure you get a box.
I did, for those of you guys that are on Cigar Newbies, if you're not on Cigar Newbies, get on Cigar Newbies. Say that you heard about it on the show. That way we'll let you in. But I'm catching myself now with some of these guys that are posting some
Cigar
stuff up there.
Newbies, man.
Can we talk about this for a second?
I'm literally gonna go. I'm literally gonna put together a package of cigars for this guy to put him out of his misery, because it's just he needs to smoke something else.
I see the posts in this group, and all I can think of is the restraint you must show
It's
on a daily
horrendous.
basis.
There's responses typed, and then I get up and walk around, and I'm like,
Oh, my
okay, we're gonna be
goodness.
fine.
I'm pretty close. I'm going to be dyeing my hair blue and just regulating all of that. I'm just, you're out,
You know,
you're out.
as a brand,
canceled.
like I want to comment a lot of times, but I can't. You know, as a brand owner, I can't be like, "Why are you smoking this garbage?" You know, try.
Exactly.
So I'm limited to the times that I can help someone out.
Yeah.
But I really, you know, if I were a regular person, I think I would be active.
I think what we need to do is put together a 3-pack or a 5-pack that's a Cigar Newbie pack.
Yeah.
That's going to let them taste the breadth of the principal line, and just send it to these guys and just let them get it exposed to the fact that it doesn't have to be, you know, a
ruin 'em
million
early.
cigar a month.
Ruin them early for all this.
You know, it just I just feel bad for a lot of these people.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That's why we started it. So
It is.
those who are watching, like Josh Sim says, we all started somewhere. So we need your help. So that way it's not a brand owner, a lounge
Andre
owner.
needs to get on Cigar Newbie. Let him be a moderator on there because he could be a great guy to just politely explain to people about, answer their questions, help guide them. Andre, you need to get in that group, Cigar
Accepted.
Newbies.
Accepted. You can be a moderator
It's
tomorrow.
made for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
Yeah, Josh-
amazing how many cigar brands are trying to get into that group. It's their decline. Or it's the guys that are out pimping, you know, DM me for Cuban cigar type stuff. They don't make it in.
Because they wouldn't show my restraint.
No. That would put you on the edge. I don't want you on the edge. Need you nice and calm and blending great cigars.
It might be good to put together that little newbie pack, though.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
And if you were to put together a newbie pack, how does that look? Would you give them multiple varieties of different strengths and everything, or would you start them in a certain direction?
I pride myself with the fact that, like, even if you have a specific taste or certain things you enjoy or don't enjoy, like, most of my cigars will fit in most holes, right?
Sure.
It's like wine and food. Like, if wine is balanced, it'll go with anything, in a sense. So, oftentimes someone will tell me that they want something really light, and I'll give them one of our stronger cigars, and they say, "Wow, that's really nice." Well, yeah, because there's nothing harsh. You know, it's really flavorful, but you're used to smoking. When you think something is big, you're used to smoking something that's just off, or from the sources that these guys are buying things
Or
from,
young or
newbies.
whatever.
So, I could easily devise 2 or 3 cigars that would make sense as a starter pack, but the reality is a lot of our stuff pleases a lot of different people. I'd give them an classic Accomplice Connecticut, and like an Aviator Envoy.
Yeah.
3 Robustos. That would give
That's
them a
perfect.
nice,
But the main thing that it needs to illustrate is you don't have to buy the brands that you've heard of. You don't have to buy the shit that's on Cigar Bid. You don't have to buy that stuff. There are products out there that will boggle your mind with how good they are. Even just set price aside. It's just incredible.
They're at I Love You Man stage on a Tuesday.
Oh,
Already.
Jesus Christ.
Look, if we could narrate what's happening right now, that's a pissed off
I
coach. He's
love
like,
you,
"Coach,
Ron.
I
Ron,
gave
I
my
love you."
best effort. I gave my best effort.
Let's lip sync what they're saying.
Yeah. Just for those
Oh,
of you,
Ron,
actually,
no.
hang on. I'll go to cam 2 so you can actually you
that'd
can
be
narrate
perfect.
this with us. Beautiful. There we go.
You're going to
Here's
see
cam
these 2 clowns.
You know-
2 guys.
Here's a
Staples in the shop.
They're watching them right now.
There's another hug coming.
Hey, Josh
Yeah,
Sims,
those
throw
guys.
up one of these numbers,
Yeah.
and we're back. All right, there we go.
So the tall guy is saying, no, Ron, I love you. I love you, man. And I just wish you wouldn't have brought all that tequila. What?
Hey, Ty, you're on camera. What's up?
God damn.
Hey, I'm back to camera 1. Here we go. That will not get us.
We're getting thrown off for
No, absolutely. That's going to upregulate us like crazy.
rainbow flag
Kiss
stuff
him.
right there.
All right, let's move. You can't say that word now from our.
I think you can say rainbow.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
You can't? Well, you guys are exhibiting it over here. A lot of love in the room. Get a room.
What? Hey, Ed. Hey, Ed. What's up, Ed? What you smoking? Series P, Patora. All right, I'm for it. My vacuum is all right. Let's go ahead and move forward here, shall we?
My vacuum is a rainbow. It is. I sold those door to door. Thank you very much. Right now you have us, I think, bleeding through 2 cameras.
Let me go ahead and back up here because we've asked this question before, and it's not going to be the big three, the normal, but we're talking shitty jobs, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious, what is that job that you had when you were young that there's no way you do it again? Did you work shitty tobacco field jobs? Did you detassel corn?
I don't see him with I mean the utter fashion that flows out of this guy. I just don't see him slipping around in a tobacco field.
No, I'm
with
not
fine
afraid
Italian
of hard work.
shoes.
The only job, well, I did commercials when I was a kid too, which you could maybe find on YouTube if you knew what brands, and that's probably funny. But the only actual job I had was I worked in a pet shop when I was in junior high school. And I had a lot of aquariums, and I loved that stuff. But the part of the job that I couldn't handle, like I don't like killing things. I won't kill bugs. I put them. We have these really poisonous spiders in Tennessee. I still let them outside.
Didn't one almost make you lose your nut?
I got, I was on my ass for a month because of one of these things. But when you had of course, when you come in the morning, there's dead fish. You got to get rid of it. But if a fish is kind of dead, you're supposed to get rid of that too. And I am not the guy to like murder an almost dead fish. Like you got the wrong dude for that. So I would definitely leave them in the tanks and get scolded for it on a regular basis.
Oh, is that right?
Don't kill anything.
Have a great evening.
I'm not the guy for that. I would just hope that the boss didn't see the almost dead fish. I want him to die naturally, breathing.
Yeah, its stomach is facing north. It's up.
I'm not a murderer.
on its
If
way
those
out.
gills are moving, I'm leaving it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my rule.
Yeah, I don't want him to be the last guy he sees when I flush him down the toilet.
I'm not killing anything.
It makes sense. He's got a kind heart. It's why he has real cats and then a porch cat
Yeah.
that you've been kind of coaxing
got
into
a porch
becoming
cat.
a friend.
Yulia named her Bonus because it's like a bonus cat. So
So do you
good.
put yourself in the crazy cat man category in the quantity of cats that you
I
have?
got two real cats and one
that-
cat that
yeah.
adopted me.
He's got a bonus cat though.
He's got a bonus
I
cat.
do have a bonus cat. I got a camera on a bonus cat. I mean, I could show you the cat coming and going from the porch. The cat comes on the porch, I get a buzz, and I watch that thing. That's the level that I'm at with my
That's Exhibit A.
wildlife.
And just care.
Brandon, what was your worst job?
Worst job I wouldn't do again is probably developmental services in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get beat up by people with developmental disabilities. Doorknobs thrown at your head. And the term, fill in the blank strength?
Yes.
That is real, boy.
Yeah.
That is, and you don't see that right hand coming, do you, Josh Sims? It's the truth. You don't see that coming. You're not going to think you're about to get hit. Bam, you got hit. Just like that. So that's not what I wouldn't go back to that, although it helped.
I was
form
at an
character.
event when I was a kid, like in Boy Scouts or something, and we were all paired up with people like that with certain disabilities, and they partnered me with a young lady, and someone was there like doing Christmas carols or playing something on the piano, and people are singing along, and my young lady went and was standing next to the piano, and then she just carefully went dink, like hit one key while the music. Then she goes dink, hits the key a couple times, and it accelerated to the point where she pushed off the piano player, banging away at the keys, and then 5 people are trying to, control her. This is the person that I was supposed to watch. But anyway, so I'm no good at that either.
Yeah, see how Sims is going off. That's what he does for a living. Is he doesn't play the piano, but he does. He's one of those 5 people.
Quite
who had to
frankly,
come.
I was more entertained by her playing the piano than the carolers anyway.
Andre's worst job was Volvo IT.
Yeah, that sounds dreadful.
It definitely
Yeah.
does. JD Mars asks if would you or would you not go hog hunting in Texas?
I'm not killing things. I mean, I appreciate it. I understand. I get it. I know, I have no problems with people doing it, but the act of killing stuff is just not in my repertoire.
And Chris Coulter comes in with the question of that night: who is your favorite Frakes brother, and why is it Nathan? That's the best one yet. Damn.
Why is it Nathan? That's pretty good.
Shut your hole. Like, you running 40s again? What are you doing? 4'9" with pads on.
You know, the three of you are so different that I could imagine, like, the different kind of event. If I had to bring one of you, there would be a different reason. Like, I might want you for something. Might want Nathan for something. I might want Andrew for something. There's, I think you fill different. You're like my repertoire of cigars. Like, there's different brothers for different circumstances.
Let's go ahead and push down on that a little bit further. What brother would you use for what?
For hosting lame radio shows,
You
absolutely
for sure.
you. You know,
Have a good evening, gentlemen.
Thank you.
anything involving
You call that lame?
anything involving some kind of sports where I have to pretend like I know what's going on. Of course, I'm going with Andrew. Anything where my life might be threatened, Nathan. It's very simple.
Well, that is pretty simple right there.
Yeah, that's good.
I also disagree with the first part, though.
Well, Brandon had a great idea for the family for us to all take psychological evaluation tests this last week. And what was interesting was the three boys' scores added together equaled mine. So I don't know if that just means that we've been split off into three pieces and those three pieces equal my demented personality. But that's how the math came out.
It makes sense. I mean, did you find that as you got older, your patience just dropped further and further?
Yeah. And I think there's just those personality tests were clearly built for people that, somebody's 30 or 20 or younger, haven't been around the block as many times, haven't been screwed over by as many people, haven't lost as much money, whatever the case may be. They're still all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and they kind of float towards that number one or number two.
They haven't been crushed by life yet.
Yeah, I was an 8, and the highest number was a 9. So mine was just this jaded, piss off kind of thing. Oh, I see where you're going with this. You're gonna ask that question?
Yeah. Effed up was the name of your personality.
Yes. Yeah.
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 Say what you want about this radio show. There's less people in the lounge now than when we started the radio show.
I mean, they had to work tomorrow.
That's what it
Is
is.
that what it is?
Plus, those guys are pretty drunk.
They're going to hang out with Nathan.
But do you blame him? Nate's the best one. If there was a best phrase, it goes Nathan times 3. I think that's the direction
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad. Those personality tests are made for people with personalities.
Oh, good. Because that I was clearly right on the edge of 0 personality. I was a hard 8 for sure.
Backing up to the killing things part, Wayne Ferguson is coming in. He's right there with you. You can catch a fish, but can't kill it.
Yeah, man. That's the thing. My dad, we used to go fishing when I was a kid. I have no stomach for murdering a fish.
Here's the
Can't
thing.
do it.
We saw this when we were in Mexico. We were going after these rooster fish, these big, beautiful, green, black stripe, just absolutely beautiful fish. And they pulled it up. We caught it. It was like a 40-minute experience. And then I was expecting to just throw that thing back in there, let it go. I had no plans with it, but they just let it. They dropped it. It took the whole width of the boat, and we just watched it die.
Oh, that's horrendous.
And all of those
not
beautiful greens, they just went away. I was like, well, that's not as cool as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And then it's already dead. And they get you all the way back to the marina, and they're like, well, what are you gonna do with it? I don't know. My flight's in like 2 hours. What am I gonna do with it? Well, I guess I'll take it, man.
Yeah. They're having fish tacos tonight.
Oh yeah, they're eating good.
Yeah.
They're eating good. But it was a very surreal moment watching this thing just, die.
You have a heart.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Going out to all those fishermen who just kill fish, Blake Deal.
Didn't you? You went. So you went hunting, and in Colorado, and you had some big monster animal in your sights. And what did you do?
Well, it was too early. The sun was just coming up, and we snuck right up over the top, and I had a shot on it. And then I went, if I shoot it now, it's done. And then we got to pack this thing out. So we got up. We just went, booga booga. And they took off running. And then we spent the rest of the day chasing it back again. I figure if I can get it again, then I've earned it. And then we got right to the end. We popped up. They all popped up and took off running. I thought, all right, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
It was in the hunt, right?
Yeah, it was good cardio.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good cardio.
Yeah.
I think I'm with you, though.
Nah, no
I'm
fun.
with you. Even crickets. I'll get crickets.
No, I won't kill a cricket.
I push the crickets out.
No.
I'll kill a spider though.
No, I will. I will F a rat up. I'm telling you, I'll walk him to the trap and then just let it just snap. But
I have
After
one of
this.
those things someone gave me. It's on a stick, and then it has like a little plastic pyramid at the end with a slidey door on the bottom. So you put it over the bug, then just spin it around and the door closes, and then you have the bug on a stick, and you can put them outside.
that's soft.
It's a lot of effort.
I've had it for about 30 years. Still using the thing like every other day. You know how many brown recluses have been through that thing?
Oh, that's
You're not
those are
killing
no
brown
joke.
recluses?
No, man. And the worst is if you forget that you caught a recluse and you go back a couple days later and then he dies, and I feel really bad about it.
Why?
Again, I've said this already. Didn't you almost lose your nut to it?
Yes. Well, okay, so I was bitten. No, I did not almost lose my nut. I was bitten right near it, and the skin like dies over the weeks. And I know a guy who's a urologist, and I said to him, I almost lost my testicle with this brown recluse. And he goes, no, you didn't. I said, what are you talking about? Like, if I heard they bite your finger, you lose the finger. He goes, no. You would have lost the sac. We drill a hole in your thigh, and we put the testicle in there. I said, check, please. I'm out.
Correction. He didn't almost lose his testicle.
Yeah.
Just the part that holds him.
Just the marbles.
Well,
Yikes.
that's
a visual.
That's
You
heavy.
You can't shake that.
how are you going to go for a jog after
Somewhere
that?
I've got pictures of this whole thing.
Yeah,
I'll share with
well,
you one day.
Yeah,
if
we'll
you'd
put them
like.
up on social media for you.
Hey, maybe we can put it on a slideshow during Thanksgiving dinner.
Wayne once.
Hey, if we're running out of food, that we can use that to lose the appetite.
Yeah, exactly. Right before the pies come out.
Yeah, exactly. Wayne Ferguson once lit a sofa on fire, torching black widows. I would imagine with maybe some sort of accelerant.
Hairspray.
Got to do what you got to do.
I guess.
Yeah.
What did you do?
You know the propane torch attachments for torching weeds?
Okay, you're torching weed.
Yeah, you got the big
He's from California.
for burning weeds in your yard.
Uh-huh.
You hook up to a propane tank. I was using that and lit a sofa on fire. So it was right behind the sofa.
Oh, in the house.
Don't play with fire, folks.
Oh,
Murderers.
got
Murderers.
it. Got it. Well, I had a rat family decide to take residence in my one of my cars last year,
I remember.
and decided to eat half of the wiring in it. So yeah, that was so rats will die if they come within certain
But come
area.
to find out, wiring on a Ford Taurus is not as expensive as you would think.
No,
For that reason.
no.
For that reason.
You know, they say rats, again, I used to work in a pet shop, as you now know. Rats are like the best little rodents to have as pets. Like, they're emotional, they're trainable. The reason why that everybody has gerbils and all these other things is because rats only live like 3 years. If rats had a longer lifespan, by far, they're the ones that you should have. They're really good animals.
I hate to
Really?
say it, but
Yeah.
Michael Jackson had a movie called Ben that was about him and all of his rat friends.
There you go.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. What was that? Probably in the 70s, late 70s?
No, I'm not that old.
Well, you just look at no, he had a movie. Is anybody here old enough to remember the movie Ben that Michael Jackson was in? Ron remembers.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, Ron.
Value added.
He has a value add.
Last week, he's blowing on chords. This week, he's making you seem relevant.
Yes, barely.
That's right.
He went all Atari 2600 on that thing. I can tell you right now. He made it work. Oh, yeah, you were definitely blowing some proofage. That's for sure.
What do you, if you were to guess what your blood alcohol content was last week, what do you think it would have been?
Double digits.
In the threes? Fours or fives, maybe double digits? I'm just glad to see you're here today. What up, Fish?
Look at Fish. That dude is just liquid cool.
I just hate that everyone who walks out that door makes Darren more and more correct
Yes.
about this radio
Fish,
show.
you're not because of the quality of the show, are
We're
you?
down a solid 40%.
Oh, he's going to get another stick because he's loving it. Yeah.
okay.
hear that?
All right.
In your face, Derek.
38%.
Oh, I'm digging it. Darren, it's always awesome to see. It's always awesome to just spend time doing kind of nothing. Really enjoyed our little session we had in the back.
Yep.
Trying out. I don't know if you're talking about that.
Yeah,
We don't have to
sure.
talk
I
too
mean,
much about it, but
It's one of the many projects we have lined up for next year for the 10th anniversary. Each of the lines that existed 10 years ago, for sure, we want to have special 10th anniversary products for. And Accomplice, we're making a cigar called the Decien, which will be, I hope just drive attention to this amazing line that, like, in many ways is slept on. It's like the most slept on, great, affordable, awesome line. And Accomplice Decien will be a really special cigar.
Why I really enjoyed it from just a cigar experience was what I was talking about in the back. Is very seldom do you get to just shut the doors and just have a cigar experience. Really enjoy it. Don't worry about the talk and the conversation. What are you tasting? What are you feeling? What do you like better? That to me, I think, would be what would keep me in love with owning a brand, is how do we take this massive catalog of tobacco and how do we tell this story, and what story is it? And
It is the fun part, but you have to think it through, Brandon. You also have to go to shops, do internet shows with people, and I mean, there's that side of things.
I'm not saying I want to do it. I'm not saying it seems fun even a little bit, but that 40 minutes.
That part is really cool.
No, the rest sucks, but that part has got to be pretty cool.
No, it's great, and feedback like yours is extremely valuable to me. And it's nice to see that we're on the same page in certain aspects of what the cigar could be.
And selfishly, I think it's interesting because I really know nothing. I know very little in this
Don't
world.
sell yourself short, man.
But I have so much to learn.
We all
But
do.
I think it's very important in anyone's cigar journey is to just sit with someone maybe that's way further ahead, as you are way further ahead than I am, but to see where you're at. Are you getting what I'm getting? And that's, I think, an incredibly valuable thing that you do often, which is just sitting with someone who's completely new and say, here, do you taste this? Do you experience this? Because a lot of my, I would say, qualifiers or descriptions that happen in the humidor to get someone to the right cigar, I've learned from you. That talking about a cigar being round and balanced with the high note, like a lot of what you use, very bright. Your cigars and our experiences, I'm greatly appreciative of it because
I appreciate
I love
that
it.
you regurgitate my bullshit. Thank you.
we're all here spewing it. We're all here spewing
No,
it.
it's true. It's all true, and it's important. And you want to educate those cigar newbies on the front end so that they can make the right decisions and expand their own enjoyment as much as possible.
Yeah, and I'm completely with Wayne, which is that first 95% you can learn pretty quick.
Yep.
And then
it's a lifetime of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're watching, for us, that experience where we get to sit, and if I get to add just a gram worth of value to you in that experience, we just get a ton of value from the experience of watching guys like Josh Sims walk in, who had 60 days ago has never walked into a lounge before, and now he's in that 95% growth period, which is going to happen so fast. And it's excellent. I love watching it. This is a beautiful industry.
You just kind of picture the cigar journey, and I see it a lot on newbies. It's like a bunch of people are circling a ladder, but they haven't got on the ladder and really started that climb.
And not all will climb it.
Not all will climb it. A lot of them will just sit there at the bottom and they'll just keep smoking some of this, what I just call mainstream product that's out there.
But how do we change it is the question.
You are chipping away already. I mean, the fact that this group exists, that you're reaching anyone. I mean, forget about retailers. No, like very few people out there are putting in that kind of effort to reach those folks. I mean, that effort in and of itself, like showing that restraint on a daily basis and fielding those questions that seem ridiculous, but those people need to learn. They need to get those answers.
And I think, and somebody mentioned it earlier. The fact is we all started somewhere.
Yeah.
And you can tell some of the guys that are really active and they're buying a lot of 5-packs online. They're buying a lot of this stuff, but you can tell they just want to learn. Mm-hmm. And that's with one of the guys. I asked him where he was in his journey because I wanted to know, because if I was going to judge him, I would just think that this guy was out to buy the cheapest cigars that he wanted to buy. And that's why my line of questioning was more, are you open to this, to getting on the ladder? I think a lot of people just don't know that there's a ladder to get on, and we just can't lose sight of that there's a lot of people that really, and I see people that are coming in that are saying, I'm new to this, I just started smoking, I want to learn.
Well, let's get to that, because Calvin Watkins asked an excellent question that I think we've all asked throughout our journey, which is, will you expand on how you find your taste buds when smoking a cigar? And I think we touched on this last time we were here, but I think it's a valuable message to continue to tell people and help educate, which is, how do you identify your palate? How do you maximize it? How do you connect with something that's so alien?
Well, it's three things. One, like, practice makes perfect, right? So the more you smoke, the more you're going to be, because it's not just what do you like, right? It's, you'll start to understand, like mechanically, is a cigar better than another cigar? Like,
right.
What do you is it giving you adequate smoke volume? Are you, the little things, not just the, like, did it burn evenly or whatever,
right.
Like, is it performing? Is it staying cool? Are the flavors fading away? Are they growing? What are they doing? The second thing is, through repetition, certain things start to click. Like, I remember back 20 years ago when I was drinking more wine, and I didn't know anything about wine at first, but after you keep tasting things, suddenly stuff starts to click. You go, oh, I can recognize this grape now, or I know what South African wines smell like now, or, things will click. And then the third thing is, as you go up a little bit, there's incredible value to to contrasting cigars.
No doubt.
Like what we did today,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
We smoked two extremely similar cigars. And if you had those, one today, one tomorrow, you absolutely might not have had the same opinion as you would have having them both at the same time.
Yep.
Maybe starting with one and then halfway through going to the other, and then smoking them both. And the other advantage of smoking two cigars at the same time is you inadvertently will keep them cool. Like, if you're smoking for taste, you might have a tendency to heat it up because you're puffing a lot.
Right.
But if you're going from one to the other, you're by default giving us both cigars some time to rest, so you don't overuse them. And I think those three things are the basic tool to growing in this and learning.
Yeah, it's just,
on your own.
It's seed time, and I think finding those people who are maybe more seasoned than you, go into a lounge, find your group of friends who know more than you, and then just ask, what are you getting from this? Smoke the same thing. And here's something.
Cigar people love to talk to you, so
100%. And I think here's what's cool. Now, a stranger in a lounge might be a different situation than your friends, but like what we did, we smoked the identical cigar, but then you went, here, try this, try each other's cigars.
Yeah.
There was somebody who came in the other day, and I said, here, try this, and he said, no man smokes another man's cigar. So, well, yeah,
whatever, dude.
Yeah, it's just
not the place for you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
When you grow up, come
new
back
stuff.
and we'll have another conversation.
Right. I mean, it's try this, see what's different, because then we have the actual ground, the overall icebreakers, which is smoking, right? Because now you're in, but try what I'm smoking. You try this, and that experience to me is.
And even those, like, they were technically the same cigars, some of them, but these are samples, right? So they're not production cigars. So tiny variations are going to be there, and it's why you smoke a lot of a cigar. Like, if you narrow down a blend, you want to smoke it in the morning, at night, you want to smoke it after you've eaten, you want to make sure that the consistency both in the cigar is there and how you're going to perceive that cigar at different times is there. And for me to, like, get your opinion and my opinion on one blend, swapping those cigars is just more data, right? What if mine was more fruity, or what if
yours was different?
Mine was different.
It was different. The things you said you were getting out of yours, I wasn't getting out of mine. And that's JD Mars is coming in with knowing more about two at the same time. What I'd recommend is take that cigar that is your home base, and you like it, you enjoy it for one reason or the other, and then put something else with it. And then you'll start realizing, oh, maybe I like this. And whatever this is, could be a note. I think to hell with the flavor notes.
I'm like this, like, I feel like I make great Connecticut's. Like, I'm not a Connecticut smoker all the time, but like we have a really high-end Connecticut and we have accomplished Connecticut, which you were smoking. That accomplished Connecticut, man, I wish I could go and give that to people who are sitting smoking a lot of the other Connecticut's I see out there. It's just such a solid smoke. And sometimes being, like, I can't remember what I smoked last week. What if I was in a great mood, really wanted a cigar? Sometimes I sit down, I know anything I smoke right now is going to be good. Like, I got here today, I had that barbecue for lunch. I had some Cigar Journal reviews to do, so I'm like, well, these guys are lucky because I can't wait to smoke right now, you know. And there were 2 great cigars and then one okay one. But yeah, you need it. You need it.
I think the overwhelming one of the questions as you're coming into newbies is how do I identify flavors? And you know, we've kind of taken an approach that is smoke it if you like it. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing you need to really worry about.
Smoke it again.
And you have to know that like not everyone can discern all flavors and maybe forever, right? Like you look like a level 3 Somm, for example, has to be able to perceive certain flavors, and not everyone has the palate. You know, with women are particularly good at it, right? Especially later in life, they still have taste buds that can perceive a lot more than your average man. And that information alone should tell you that not everyone's on an even playing field.
Sure.
The way you're born with what you're coming into it with. So enjoy what you enjoy, but do try to develop.
And one thing that I'll say is actually, Josh has a question just in terms of, do you mix a cigar that's a Connecticut with a Maduro and this? To hell with what the wrapper is, to hell with what the brand is. Grab a cigar you enjoy, and then just grab something else that you think you might enjoy.
When I say like Connecticut's, I say that from a standpoint that a lot of people like think they want a Connecticut and they think they know what it's supposed to be, and that's why they're smoking it. So like, yes, in that case, I want to give a person a similarly marketed cigar, right?
Sure.
But there's no rule that I mean, if you know, maybe you just like a cigar because you like it, that's a prime cigar to smoke to AB with something else.
Yeah, and for me, it's a little bit of a frustration when I actually just had this experience not long ago, which is, you know, I smoke a lot of cigars, you know, I know what I'm doing. Okay, what do you like? Talk to me about your palate. What do you enjoy? What's important to you? I smoke a Maduro. What the fuck does that mean?
What does that even mean?
What does that mean? Okay, so what does that mean to you? I don't know. I just like a Maduro.
Like Connecticut's, it's the same thing.
Same
I
thing.
love to ruin people that are Maduro smokers. I mean, smoke an accomplice Maduro. See the difference. AB it. Try. But Maduros and Connecticut's are both cigars that are marketed in a certain way. Like they're the most prejudiced cigars because they're the cigars that manufacturers think are made for a certain type of person that likes a certain type of thing. And, you know, when you smoke with your eyes closed, that's the one thing I love about the Cigar Journal reviews is that we're forced to smoke so much stuff that we don't know what it is. It really keeps you honest. And carrying that over to the blending process, I think it allows me to do things from a different standpoint than if I was just trying to make a certain cigar in a certain way.
Which is an interesting point because, yeah, you'll go into the humidor, you'll pick out a cigar, you'll see the label on it, but then cut the cigar and take the label off. And then just smoke the cigar.
Yep.
Because everything that you're smoking for the ratings have no
We
labels
don't know.
on them.
It's all blind. Yeah.
It's 100% blind, so you don't know what you're smoking. It's how often does someone ask, "Hey, do you have a good Habano?" Well, shit, just about everything has it. So yes, that would be. I would love somebody who comes in and goes, you know, good Habano. I'm good with that. Great, you know. All right, cool. I'm with you there.
Come with me.
Yeah. All right, let's take a
You know,
journey.
I think there's the guys that say that they smoke Maduros are trying to tell us that they have experience and that they're further down the road, so they're smoking heavier cigars. And that's why I enjoy giving them something like a Martinique or
Full flavor Connecticut.
just a full flavor Connecticut. And just, I mean, I'll never forget, we had a guy that was in here on a Saturday, and he was, the way he put it was, I hate Connecticut's. And let me stress this, I hate Connecticut's.
So you sold them 5 Connecticut's.
I sold him 5 Connecticut's. I said, I'm about to change your mind. I'm going to sell you 5 Connecticut's. Give me $50. I'm going to get you 5 cigars and just smoke them. He smoked one. He goes, completely changed my mind.
But-
but in his mind, nothing else existed.
Yeah, but if you just smoke Romeo and Monty Connecticut's, I don't blame him.
Exactly.
But the way that Junior puts it in here is I like a nice oily wrapper. Like if you want some, that gives me something to work for. You know, it's like you want something oily, you want something rich, cool. But you notice he says nice oily wrapper. That's not coming in
But
and
see,
going.
you smoke.
I only smoke whatever.
LFD has a cigar, the cabinet number 5, that looks like it's been dipped in Armor All, but it is a medium light cigar. It is not a super heavy cigar. But somebody looks at that, they think that they're, oh my God, there's no way I'm going to be able to choke this thing down. DC has some cigars that for the average guy, he's going to look at it and go, oh no, I can't smoke that. I know it's going to be too strong. And they're just not. So it's just a matter. I think the one thing that if somebody out there wants to really experiment is what you guys are talking about. Smoke 2 cigars at the same time.
Mm-hmm. You want to pass me 1 cigar at the same time over there?
Whatever you want.
What? Jesus, that's a difficult situation.
Yeah.
A Vonquier, a Patrier, and a Cochon Volant. I'm going to let the crowd decide that one. That one is...
We just ran a report called
Patrier, that's where I was going. I already smoked a Patrier this morning.
We just had a report that was the 80-20 rule report. 80% of your business comes from 20% of your facings. We have almost a third of our business comes from 27 cigars. And we have 1,200 in our humidor, different cigars. 27 cigars. The principal within that first 27, there's probably 8 principals in that mound, and the Cochon Volant is number 1, which is one that would probably be running even faster if there was just a regular monthly supply.
Yeah. Which is this one.
Yes.
But Kevin Amick comes in. I enjoy bold flavored cigars. Have multiple wrappers. Enjoyed some, not so much, but full flavored. That cigar we were smoking earlier, full flavor cigar. Not a full body cigar.
You could argue that the Martinique, which is a Connecticut,
has a ton of flavor.
It's full flavored cigars. It's a full bodied cigars. The smoke volume is beautiful. So when you say that, do you mean those things, or do you mean that you want something with a lot of spice that doesn't necessarily have the complexity? Because I'm trying to deliver the experience. Yeah, I'm with you on the flavor. I want a lot of flavor, but I want that flavor balanced. I want it elegant. I want to taste more than one thing. So like we smoked those cigars. One of them was stronger than the other, but it was really all the flavor was kind of in one wheelhouse. So that wasn't as good for us as the other one that was slightly softer. I mean, a similar cigar, but it definitely had another dimension to it. So full flavor, it can mean different things to a lot of people. It could mean nicotine content. Like maybe to some people, full flavor is, I want to be buzzed. So you really have to ask yourself, what exactly is it that you like and are enjoying, and try to find those qualities, because that Connecticut right there is a full flavored cigar with 0 spice.
Right. Yeah, and that's a question. I have a question out there. Is like, how would everyone who's watching, how do you discern what is most important? Do you like full flavor? Do you like medium? How do you describe the cigars that you enjoy?
Yeah.
And of course, we talk about, well, it depends on the mood. Yeah, I understand that. But if you were to say, how do you describe your palate? Like, Pops, if you want to, how do you describe your palate? For someone who might be watching, may not know how to describe their own.
Well, where I'm at right now, and there's, to me, that your palate kind of takes a roller coaster ride over time. If you're smoking a lot of cigars, whether it's, you may be at that point in time where you want a little bit fuller cigar, but I like full flavored. I like no spice. I like none of that pepper. I despise that chemical flavor that I get from some really, really heavy oily cigars. It's almost a medicinal taste, like you let an aspirin, dissolve on your tongue. And some of those, and a lot of that comes from an under-fermented tobacco.
You're a wrapper that they monkeyed with to make dark.
Exactly.
Which is more predominant than you would imagine in this industry. You wouldn't
just working it, pressing it?
You wouldn't believe the producers that do things to wrappers. You wouldn't believe it.
Just to manipulate that flavor a little bit. Yeah.
Oil, press, dye, paint. I mean, I've seen it all.
No shit.
It's shocking. Stuff that you would never knowingly, willingly put in your body gets put on wrappers on a daily basis.
It's interesting you say paint, because there's a couple, I've had some cigars that I'll always remember when my dad used to race cars and stuff, and we would go to these machine shops that had paint booths. And when you go into a paint booth that had a specific smell, and there's been cigars that I swear the flavor is from that paint booth. It's that
A lot of times
It's hard to describe.
one of the cigars I smoked for review today was abnormally dark. And so one of the first things I always do is lick my finger, rub it on the cigar, and see if anything comes off. And this one today, nothing came off. I was shocked because it was really dark. But you wouldn't believe how many times doing reviews, I'll take it, rub it on my paper, rub it on my hands, and it comes right off on my fingers. You don't want to.
Whoa,
I
scary
don't want to
stuff.
put that in my body.
Dipping it in the black water.
Whoa. That's pretty heavy. Josh Sims, you had a question about elaborating on something, but it kind of got stuck down there. What were you saying?
Full body or full, whatever, like medium plus, etc. I'm going to talk about that.
I think that's you know what? I think that's a big problem in this industry.
Yeah, I try not to have that conversation. When someone says I want XYZ, I say, tell me about like flavors and the experience. Like, what are you looking for? And then I try to figure out what they enjoy, because like it can mean anything, right? Like body is supposed to be like mouthfeel, like a little puff, ton of smoke. That's supposed to be body, but a typical consumer might not view that as body. A light cigar might have those attributes.
Yeah, exactly. Like that German I was telling you about. It's like it's a Connecticut, but when you smoke it, it's like biting into a marshmallow.
Right.
A marshmallow, full body. It's got a lot of texture, right? There's a lot of smoke output. For me, body is texture. It's not nicotine content.
Right. And I think the other thing is a lot of times when somebody says, I like a full bodied cigar, I like a medium bodied cigar, I always have to say, what do you think? What cigar do you smoke? Do you think is full body? Because your full body might be medium to me. So if I guide you down a medium path, it may not, they're not going in lockstep.
They could be intensity, strength and intensity.
Okay, so will you expand on that a little bit?
Well, yeah, like I don't like I'm weird, right? I barely drink, but I love the feeling of being buzzed. So I really should drink more. But with cigars, like I can sit here all night. I mean, this is my 5th cigar today. I could smoke them all night, but I hate the feeling of a nicotine buzz. I
do too.
I don't want that. I want flavor. I want the experience. I want the mechanics on point. I don't want to have that weird buzz from the cigar. It's not why I'm here. And, typically speaking, if you're using properly aged fermented tobacco, you're not going to have that unless you're designing a cigar to perform that way. So it's definitely not what we do, but that's where I put strength and intensity, like nicotine content, that buzz.
Yep.
Body is smoke volume. Flavor is flavor. And I think flavor and mechanics together are really what are the most important.
And I think there's one massive disadvantage to this industry versus wine, because it's a very similar industry, but you can look at strength of wine of ABV, right?
Okay, there's a number on there.
Right, there's a number on there, and it's objective. But there's nothing objective in anyone's cigar experience.
No, because you can't. Because I could make 1,000 of these, and 10 of them had some random leaf in it that are going to give me a high just because. So there's no way to standardize and test.
And it's interesting because some people will their bodies will take nicotine differently. So if you get a cigar that's maybe it's young, it's under fermented, it gets you this blast of nicotine. With some people, it has the effect of caffeine. For me, it gives me anxiety. So I'll start to feel anxious. I'll start to feel uncomfortable. When I smoke something like a Martinique, it's just telling me just to relax, just chill. It has a calming effect to it, which is what I look for in a cigar.
A lot of people, like especially young blenders, like they ignore mechanics in a sense. Because like one thing I found over the years is that in some ways there's an inverse relationship between mechanics and flavor. Like really flavorful cigars, or in the blending process, don't always perform, right? They don't necessarily have the right amount of combustible tobacco combusting in the right order. Like I've made some of just truly delicious cigars that they're just going to go out a bunch of times. It's not something you can really make. So and like that experience you're talking about, you want to relax and enjoy yourself. You want that little puff that gives you volume, this cool temperatured, flavorful smoke. That mechanics is as important as the flavors that you're getting, unless you don't mind sitting there, relighting it, puffing 5 times to get a mouthful of smoke.
Well, Provocateurs goes out 100 times, but it's still fun. So
that's a different animal.
Yeah, and I think that's where I would love to shift people's mindset from flavor and strength and body and everything subjective to what experience. Of course, subjective, but what experience? Do you want something that is going to just hang with you? You want something? Let's look at it like a person, right?
And let's be real, like branding is also a part of that experience.
100%. 100%, because that brand, more than what the label looks like, what does that brand offer? A principal branded cigar is going to offer an experience much different than another brand. So identifying what that experience is, I want something that's elegant, beautiful, or maybe they don't have those descriptors, but I want something that's just going to be fully enjoyable. I want the cigar to speak. Okay, cool. Let's talk about
From
that.
looking at the box to lighting it up to putting it down at the end of the night. It's definitely an experience.
So I've got Blake Deal here. Do you feel there are young blenders that add more nicotine to draw the appeal of cigarette and vape smokers? Essentially the feeling that nicotine, or where do you think the young blenders think their blend should be?
I mean, I definitely don't have data on that. I think that they're just trying to make really delicious cigars and they're ignoring important parts of the process, and there's also as we've discussed earlier, there's a huge demand for what are perceived as strong cigars, particularly in this country. And so you have a lot of demand for cigars that, wouldn't pass muster for me, for example, that people are willingly smoking and asking for. And that, of course, it's dollars, so it's driving producers in that direction. But I think when I talk about young blenders, I just mean like people that they blend and they think that's all there is to it. This tastes great, go make it. Like, it just doesn't work that way.
Yep. Junior coming in. I just want to relax when I smoke. Full body or medium body. At the end of the day, I want a good cigar that will burn. Yeah, that will burn my fingertips because I don't want to be done. Yeah. That's it. Actually,
Not wanting to put it down is always a good sign.
Yeah. If someone came in and said, "I just want to burn my fingertips,"
I think we've used the term sessionable, a cigar that you could smoke, and when you're done, you go, I think I want another one of those. The Martinique has probably been the cigar that has done that for me in the last couple of years since we released it. This is a cigar that I could smoke one, I can go smoke another one right after it, and I am perfectly content. There's only a couple that have been like that. There's some that you smoke and you go, it's good, I think I'm going to give that one a break for a couple of days and I'll go try something else.
And cigars that are like that typically work in different times of day, right? Like, you could wake up and smoke that cigar. You could smoke it after a big meal. It just slots itself in so many different times because of the just perfect balance.
Is Andre the guy you were telling me about that it just is incredibly knowledgeable and just fully nerdy into this?
Total nerd.
Yeah, total nerd.
Yeah.
And because he had all kinds of cigars for different reasons, to help fall asleep. It sounds like he's like a doctor here.
Sounds like him.
Some like a sugar rush, pain relief. This is the type of juju doctor I need
when he
here.
started working at Mellgrens, the place that closed in Sweden, it's like 200-year-old tobacco shop. Yeah, I think he was underage. He was like 16 at the time or something, and somehow they gave him a job. But no, he's definitely the guy to talk to. We really need to get him in newbies. I think he's a perfect guy for that. Yeah.
You can gladly become a moderator. And Chris Coulter, you can as well. This Patrie
So good.
is
Just
it's so wholesome. I think that's the best way that I could describe it. Is it's a cigar that just fires everywhere you want it to fire, and it occupies every desire you want. I smoked this morning, and again to cap it off at the end of the evening. It's just
2 in a day.
It's just perfect.
14 inches of Patria today.
This thing is what's the ring gauge on this?
It's a 50.
50. Yeah, it is. If you haven't smoked the Aviator Patrie, it is exceptional.
It's been a weird cigar because it was always intended in the beginning to be like the softest Aviator, still in the wheelhouse of what we do. But like, if you wanted a softer one, the Patria was the cigar. And the wrapper that we use for that, the Cubra, which is not available anymore, has changed over the years. Like, in the beginning, we only used the lighter color ones because they had more flavor than the darker wrappers. Then as that changed, the darker ones, I guess they changed the process of how they use the fertilizer, and it just became, the darker ones got a lot more flavor to them. So then we were able to use those. Then it just got so much more flavorful that it was no longer like a cigar you would describe as what it began.
Right.
But we always tweaked the blend to stay with the changes in the tobacco. And
It feels like you're back. It feels like this blend is back to what it was.
it's because the wrapper doesn't exist, so we're using older and older wrapper that we have.
It is. And it went through a period there where it definitely picked up. Right? It definitely fit in that Vonquier type range. But this, to me, I think it fits the size. I think it fits everything about it.
I think it has more like layered earth and wood than Vonquier. Vonquier has got a little more of the darker wood and the sweeter tones.
Yeah, and to me, I picture a lot of that buttery, rich, little salty. It's it's kind of like that Le Patissier from Crown Heads, but it doesn't have that bite to it.
Yeah.
No bite anywhere in
The
the
youngest
cigar.
tobacco in there is 5 years old, pre-roll. That's any aviator, and that's not nonsense. That's reality of that cigar.
Okay,
So, of course, it doesn't have
it's
that bite.
incredible. I mean, it's incredible because it's easy to fall in love with the Koshan because it's cute, it's fun, it's marketable, it's different, it's unique, it's a great experience.
It's
but
an
it tastes
unstoppable
great.
cigar.
It's unstoppable
It's an
cigar.
unstoppable
But the
cigar.
Patrier for me, that's where I go.
So, big announcement. One of the many projects we're working on for next year for the 10th anniversary.
Pay attention.
First official announcement of this, told some people, is we've made molds and have started production of a petite cochon volant. So same overall format, this tapered cigar, but it's been reduced down to 4 1/4. And it's just an adore. Even Hendrik is smoking them, sending me pictures all the time, and he's rarely like all up in a cigar. So that will be an early release for next year, Petit Cochon Volant.
And then,
10th
pay,
anniversary.
and then pay attention to what else.
and then
because,
stay tuned. because
yeah.
There's going to be some things.
Just spend your money on principal next year because that's all
your
you're going to have money
shekels.
for. Yeah. Yeah. Or buy the money to burn and then try to use the rubles for groceries.
exactly.
It's not going to work. Oh. You just kill it, Darren.
no, you guys.
No, it's very humbling, the experience to have this partnership. We walked around the new space today.
Put that on the list of great things for 2023.
Exactly. Just as you said, next year's going to be a big year. It's going to be a great year for all of us. Next year, we're going to take the next step of deepening what our partnership looks like, and then I couldn't be happier about it.
Me too.
It's going to be special over there. It's going to be special.
Well, let's end on a high note.
Let's do it.
Hey, Darren, you want to sign us off?
Why start now?
That's a good point.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us at Industrial Cigars. What do we call this show?
Cigar Talk Live.
Cigar Talk Live on Tuesday nights.
Tuesday nights.
See you in 2023.
Well, actually, we'll see you again tomorrow. And then Thursday, food coma.
That's true.
Then when do you go back?
Back to Europe Monday, and then I think that's the last for the year over there.
Okay. Well, we will be here tomorrow night releasing the Baubel, correct? And then they get a chance to get the new
Accomplice Maduro.
Accomplice Maduro. And then food coma. And then before you kill your in-laws, come up here at 6 o'clock. Save the murder charge.
Yep.
We'll be here at 6 o'clock, open.
Now, when you say you can try the Accomplice Maduro, that's a sponsored cigar.
Yeah, I brought it. I think I have enough Robustos for.
So if you're here after 7 o'clock to come hang out in the lounge, Darren is actually sponsoring a cigar for you to experience this Accomplice
And
Maduro.
it is a great. All those Maduro smokers that like Maduros, come have an Accomplice Maduro.
Yeah, see what it's really like.
Please A/B it. A/B it. Bring your favorite Maduro and do a little A/B.
Strong.
Yeah.
We love you. Appreciate you. Adios, suckers.
Happy Thanksgiving.